Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Right, good morning to everyone, and it is morning. It is 8:15, and I'm up bright and early because I'm off on a jolly today. My nephew's going to be taking me to a couple of modelling shops out of town, so it's going to be a nice day out. So enough of that, over to what you come to look at. The tram. Now, everything is built. I know it doesn't look finished because a lot of the bits I've left off for painting. Quickly go around it. I didn't put the signboards on, the advertising boards. I did put them on to start off with, and I didn't like the look of it. It covered too much of this lovely little, all these skylights along the top. Let me get a pointy stick. I haven't got a pointy stick. Super glue, dirty grubby, but that will do. We'll do it that end. Don't look too bad. It covered all these lovely skylights up. I didn't like the look of it, so I didn't put them on. Simple as that. Extra work I've done on the top. I made a new spring, which I'll show you in a little while. The one that came with the kit looked a bit soft. Didn't look like it should do. So I decided to make a new one. Why not? If you can do them things, you do them, don't you? Well, everything is completed on the top. Like I say, we're just waiting to do paint. Now, I've built all this in. I've done it in as bigger sections as I can because there's a lot of paint work to do. Right, we'll take the top off. If the camera will play, as you can see, look, I've done a new spring there. Some new handles because they were easier to make out of wire. Because there was too much cleaning up to do. There's so many sprue gates on them. The inside, not a great deal to look at when the camera plays. That's it. The 4 little holes left in the top, they are for actual lights. Now, I've made them up, but I've got a little bit of a cunning plan if it comes together, which I won't say at the moment. That will all be revealed on the reveal. Put that to one side. I've done the 2 ends as well in sections. There we go. If we can look in there, because there is a lot of detail in there, and I want to be able to get in to paint it to make it look right. And this is part of the reason why it's all done in sections. I'll remove that section. That section's exactly the same. It's a tram. It's the same both ends. But very pleased with all the detailing on it. It is a lovely little kit. This bit here where you've seen that, but now I can get in to do all this wood on the floor, the wooden benches, and all the bits and pieces. Now, all the real work went on the bit that you're not going to see, is this bit underneath here. There is masses of different bits and pieces, and it's nice because I like it because it's levels of detail. It starts off right at the back and it just keeps building up with detail. It's all finished underneath here now. It's got the, as I call, cow scoops on them. Look like a couple of park benches there. I think it was for clearing rubbish and snow and stuff like that away in front of the tram. So I'll just turn that back over because this bottom section isn't fitted. Just move that over. That's the actual bogie with the electric motors and everything else. Masses of detail again, and it's just a shame that it's you're not going to see it when it's actually on the display. And I think the only time it's going to be seen is when it's all finished and painted and I take some pictures of it. It's a bit of a shame, but there you go. and like I say, the underneath now is totally finished. So this is all now ready for paint, and it will be going into paint in the next, I ain't going to put that down on there, I'm going to put that back on there. Right, so it's going into paint. I think this is going to be the challenge, the paint. The build itself, lovely build, like I say, if you can follow instructions you can build this. The painting bit is going to be the challenge, I think, of getting all the interior done, the exterior, and getting everything looking right. So you're not probably going to hear anything from me for quite a while, because it's going to be a case of paint, more paint, mask off, weather, paint, mask off, more weathering. So it's going to be a slow progression and build upwards to getting it finished. If I just move the camera slightly to one side, you may just see these are all the doors. I've glued most of them together for the simple reason is I'm only having this rear door open to allow passengers on. This will be the door towards, sorry about that, towards the driver, which is fixed. Really well detailed. The doors actually move inside these like they should do, which I think is pretty cool. That will be the door open for this end, and to allow passengers to get on and off and out and not lock them up. These ones here, these are the ones that are actually fixed. Yeah, I got that one around the right way. They're actually fixed just here to make the front part of the cab up. And like I say, a lot of this stuff I'm going to put into place. I found that the Vallejo masking liquid sticks things together pretty cool, so I'm going to be using a little bit of that to sort of assemble it and spray the bulk of it, and then I can just break it apart and still leave a clean line for gluing. So that's the theory. If it works, it will be brilliant. If not, well, we'll get there in the end. So that is it. That is the finished tram. I shall put that back on that end, because like I say, it sits here very proudly at the moment. I shall attempt to put the top back. There we go. And it is a very, very nice kit. Recommend it to anyone. Issues I had, the only issues I had to start off with was no location marks on the bottom for the chassis, but that was overcome very easy. The other thing, sprue gates were a bit large on some of the parts. That's easy enough to get over. You just got to be very careful as you're. I'll just put my hand in front of that again because it's not focusing. Sprue gates were a little bit large. A lot of sprue gates on very small parts, which I suppose they had to do, but it made cleaning up very difficult, especially on these thinner bits here, where you probably had 10 sprue gates coming into it, and it's very good plastic, but you still have to be extremely careful. A lot of the grab bars and that I've replaced because it just was taking too long to clean one part up, and that's the reason why a lot of the grab handles being replaced, because I've just replaced them in wire. It's a lot quicker. But besides that, a great build, thoroughly enjoyed it, and now I'm going on to paint. I'm not looking forward to, and those grotty figures as well, which I keep looking at, quite flashy. I don't know if it's just that particular batch. I know you can buy these MiniArt ones separate. I don't know if to even go for another set and see if they're any better, but you never know, I might even better find a set today. If I can find a set and have a nose in the box and see how much flashes are on them. If they're not as bad, I will buy them. So that's it. That's my little update. Like I say, I'll be into paint. I will keep a record of what I'm doing, so on the final reveal you can see how I actually managed to get to hopefully a good result at the end. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'm going to put this up now, and we'll see you in a little while. Thank you very much.